Okay, it's Craig Campbell with Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and I'm doing a VR for Budget Rips. Budget Rips on the 1,111 subscriber extravaganza, as he calls it. Pound hashtag 1111. And he wants to know about our Grail cards, or what is our Grail card if we have the Grail card. And my Grail card, which I don't have, is the 1952 Topps Eddie Matthews. And one of the limiting factors on that is obviously the cost. And the second is really finding the right card, finding the Matthews card that I'd be willing to spend that much money on. And I've seen a few in the past, but I just was not able to do that. But, Eddie Matthews is my favorite player. And as far as like Grail cards go, this right here is one, and you can see the creases. And I got this card probably in the mid-70s at a garage sale in Wisconsin. And this 56 Eddie Matthews card has traveled the world over. It's been with me through 13 years in the Air Force, California, overseas, Texas, Michigan. It survived 3 boys and 3 grandkids and countless dogs and cats and guinea pigs and you name it. I mean, you can see this card it's been with me for a long time. Almost now 50 years, probably 48 years this card has been with me. And I just love the card. And for my collection, I was able to get this and in a PSA 6. And just love this card. Pee Wee Reese, Eddie Matthews has taken out Pee Wee Reese at second base. The ball's laying on the dirt, Eddie's on the bag, and Pee Wee's laying in the dust. And that was the way that Matthews played. But yeah, the 52 Topps Eddie Matthews, that would be my Grail card for sure. And but I love my old 56 here. And when I was at Strongsville, oops, sorry about that. When I was at Strongsville, I found this in a bargain bin, and it's Bart Starr. I've met Bart Starr a few times, and have his autograph on a hat. Me and my son were there on Bart Starr Day, probably in 2004, I guess that was, and we both got our hats autographed by Bart Starr. I had this card back in the 70s, and this was one of the cards that disappeared. I managed to hold on to this Matthews, but this Bart Starr card is no longer with me, and I found this, and it just almost looks like the one I had. I'm sure it's not the one, but that type of shape. And also at Strongsville, I got this Paul Hornig, which I also had. Same year, the Paul Hornig card, and then obviously the Jim Taylor card. And so Taylor, Hornig, and Starr. And these cards I had when I was a boy growing up in Wisconsin in the 70s, and these look remarkably like the ones that I had. And so I'm going to work this year on getting those slabbed up. And this is a card that I just love. This is the 69 Bart Starr and a PSA 7. And I also had this as a kid, and not this card, but I had one that I just cherished, which I no longer have. But this is probably one of the top 10 cards in my collection. I love the Bart Starr 1969 card. And it really reminds me of being, 10 years old or something, and just looking at my cards while I'm laying in bed and just loving it, as a kid. And then lastly, this many of you may find odd, but Jerry Tagge, and the autographed Jerry Tagge card. And he was a bust for the Green Bay Packers. There is no doubt about that. And but the thing about it is, if you look on the back there, his college, Nebraska. And then you read that. Jerry has enjoyed 2 fine seasons with the Packers. Not really. In 72 and 73. He twice led Nebraska Cornhuskers to national championships. He had a 33-2-1 record. And the reason why this Jerry Tagge card means something to me is my oldest cousin, who's about 12 years older than I am. He was an all-state center in the state of Iowa, and he went and he played for Nebraska. He was on the teams with Johnny Rogers and Jerry Taggy, and he blew his knee out, I believe, his junior year, and he was probably going to be a starter his junior and senior year for Nebraska, but he blew his knee out and never played another college game again. But this Jerry Taggy card, autographed, and this is one that I keep in my collection. It means something to me because my cousin played with Taggy, and I got to meet a few players that he played with at Nebraska that became professional players when they played with the Green Bay Packers. And although Jerry Taggy had a very non-consequential pro career, I still really like this card because it's got a personal connection to it. But yeah, my Grail card is the 52 Topps Eddie Matthews. I save money for it. One of these days, God willing, I'm going to have that in my collection. And I always keep an eye out for it, and I do save searches and look on auction houses because you just never know. But yeah, Eddie Matthews and Bart Starr, these make up my Grail card, and I really am looking forward to getting this in a slab. And just like I have this one here, I'm looking forward to getting this one slabbed up and adding it to my collection. So just congratulations, though, Budget Rips, on your 11/11 extravaganza. What a fantastic accomplishment, and I'm glad to do this VR for you, and just look forward to seeing how the contest goes. But guys, keep on collecting. Enjoy the hobby. It's really a blast, and this YouTube community just makes it all that much better. And you're part of that, Budget Rips. Have a great day.